Hello and welcome to Susie B Living's What I Am Sowing in May. So I've waited a couple of days to actually put this video out for you because I have got no rush in what I am sowing in May. I'm actually not going to start sowing until, I've got my little black book here, until the 13th. So that's why I have waited so long to put this video out. In May, I get a little bit slower with my sowing because everything is more or less up to date. I start thinking a lot more about what's going to happen later on in the year, into the winter and into the spring as well. And anything else that I do is kind of like a spare or a top up. So that's why I haven't put anything out earlier. And I'm sorry about that if you were expecting it to come out earlier. But I just want to remind you that this is my sowing schedule for May because I always put out what I'm sowing in May according to the moon phases. So now that you'll get all my seeds that I'm going to be sowing, you can plant them whenever you want to if you're not doing the moon phases. But if you are doing moon phase gardening, then this is what is going to happen in May for me. So I'm going to start with leaves days. Leaves days in May. When I'm looking down here, I'm just looking at my book. I think you can just see it there. Yes, you can. So Monday the 13th and Tuesday the 14th of May are both leaves days. And this is when I start sowing my next lot of spring onions. Now, spring onions are quite an interesting thing in the summer because a lot of varieties don't really work. They have a tendency to bolt. So there was a variety that I used to sow a while back, and I think it was called something called Summer Island or something like that. I haven't been able to get the seeds for those anymore, and that was a great variety because it didn't bolt. However, I have done a little bit of research, and there is another variety called Entita that I am going to try this summer as a spring onion or a salad onion. I've got some on the go already. And let me just pop that down there. I'll show you. I like doing this in the greenhouse because I can show you what I've got. These are my latest, and these are guardsmen. So these are ready to go out in the garden, these ones. Now, guardsmen and Entita are what we call bunching onions, bunching salad onions. You can use any onion as a salad onion or a spring onion. You just don't let it bulb up into proper bulbs. But I find that in the summer, the bunching onions, you can also get Japanese variety called now let me not get this mixed up with the squash, Ichikura or something like that. I've tried it. I don't really rate it. I find that it doesn't really get thick enough for me. You can also do things like white Lisbon if you want to, but white Lisbon is a bulbing onion. I actually have a tray of white Lisbon here that are more than ready to go out in the garden, and but they're a bulbing onion, so you can leave those in and let them become proper onions if you want to. So I'm going to try this Entita, and I am going to sow in the 40 cells like this that I get from Container Wise. And I'm going to be very, very liberal, and I'm going to sow 6 per cell. So that will be, this time of year you can do that. You can multi-sow quite a lot. If you can actually do 8 if you want per cell. That's the first thing I'm going to sow. The next thing that I'm going to sow is, and this is for winter, okay? So I am going to do a few extra red cabbage. I've got some beautiful red cabbage here that I am going to pot up into their next pots, into their 9-centimetre pots. And these are the 2 red cabbages that I'm going to sow again. One is called Red Lodero. That's this one here. I mean, they're red cabbages. They look the same, don't they? And the other one is Red Drumhead. And I have a weed in there as well. Beautiful, they look great. So like I said, I'm going to put those in 9-centimetre pots, but I just want a few extras, and that's because I only was able to germinate 3 red Lodero seeds for this batch. I have another batch inside and I've got a few more, but what I find with the red Lodero is they don't germinate as well as the Drumhead. Okay, the reason why I am growing red Lodero is this is a clubroot resistant variety. There is a little bit of clubroot going on at the allotment and I'm not very happy, so that is why I am doing this clubroot resistant. So if you have got clubroot, don't despair. It doesn't mean that you can't grow anything in that area anymore. Try clubroot resistant varieties and I will recommend a few to you for different things as well. I've got a Brussels and can't think what else I've got of clubroot. Oh, I think there's a cauliflower coming up. So yes, red Drumhead is a great variety to grow in the winter because it is really, really hardy. It withstands frost and snow and everything. And actually it's really delicious. So those, I'm going to do a few extras. And when I say a few, I'm going to do another 6 red Lodero and I'm going to do another 8 red Drumhead. That is it. No more. Let me just check my microphone. Yes. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to sow for the winter is a Savoy cabbage. I've got some very nice Savoy at the moment here. That's not, it's here. No, that's not as well. Where's my Savoy? Gone. Oh, there they are. I'm going nuts. Here, you can actually see. So this is my summer variety of Savoy, and it looks as though I have a radish in there as well. And this is Preludium. They look great. They're ready to go into their next 9cm pots. Really lovely. This is a great variety for summer. So that's that. It's a little bit late to put those in now, but I am now heading towards the winter, and a great variety for the winter is this. It's called Vertus. And this is really tough, this variety of Savoy. Again, withstands frost, snow, everything. Great, great, great variety. So if you are interested in growing a Savoy over winter and you want a tough one, get the Vertus. It's a great one. I am going to be doing 4 of those. So, okay, let's talk about lettuce now. So this lettuce I am growing for whole heads. Earlier in the year, I grow lettuce. When I grow head lettuce, I grow it to pick leaves from the outside. But now they get away very, very fast. And so I am going to be growing whole heads of lettuce. I would be able to show you this. Actually, have I got... No, I haven't. I've eaten it. I'm going to be doing some more Riccia. These are one of my favourites for growing this time of year. I'm doing some Canasta. I've just sown some Canasta. I am going to be doing some more Canasta because remember, I'm doing this in 2 weeks' time as well. Canasta's, again, one of my favourites for the summer. Now, I do have a picture of these other 2. I've got Haflex here in the garden at home, and I also have it on the allotment. And so I'm going to do a few more Haflex. I'm going to do 3 more of these. I'm going to do 4 more Verano, and I'm going to do 4 more Riccia. And of course, I'm going to do my favorite, which I've got in the garden here, and I've also got it in the greenhouse, which is Navara. I'm going to do 4 more of those. And like I said, this is for harvesting as whole heads because I will have more than enough other lettuce. I've just also sown some cut and come. I've sown a whole veggie pod of cut and come lettuce, so that should keep us going. If you do want to do cut and come lettuce, what I mean is a mix of lettuce. Let me just find where the actual seed packets are. I need to show you a picture of what I'm talking about here. So this is a mix, and actually you can do cut and come with any lettuce. You just don't let it grow big into heads. And Mr. Fothergills does really good mixes of cut and come lettuce. I like these mixes. They're a little bit more expensive, but I like them because you get quite a good mix of stuff, and so you can cut and come, you can get cut and come from this about 3 or 4 times this time of year. So that's the other thing that you can be sowing on leaves days. The next thing I will be doing, I always succession sow through the whole of the spring and summer, different herbs. So I'm going to put in a few more chives, I'm going to put in some dill, I'm going to do some more parsley, and I'm going to be doing more coriander, and of course basil comes into the mix this time of year. I have some basil already here in the greenhouse that I pricked out. That's the sweet basil, the Genovese. That's doing well here in the greenhouse, so you can actually grow it in the greenhouse this time of year. It's not too cold. I've got some Thai basil inside that I need to prick out and pot on like that into modules. And this time of year, I do my sowing of basil into actual modules. I don't bother with pricking out at all. So that is your leaves days. Okay, now Wednesday the 15th, Thursday the 16th and Friday the 17th are all fruits days on the moon phase calendar. And I am going to sow another batch of, let me find my seeds here. It's all my lettuce, everything. Another batch of sweet corn. I just need to say it, don't I? I don't even need to show you the picture of what sweet corn looks like because it looks the same, doesn't it? So sweet corn, the variety that I like of sweet corn, I found it, is incredible. It's an F1 and it is pretty incredible. This does well for me all the time. This is the only sweet corn that I grow now. I did go through a phase where I was growing sweet corn, well, because I thought it looked good, but I tell you what, it didn't taste good. But I grow this one. I love growing sweet corn, and I'm going to be doing 12 of those. So that's that. The other thing I'm going to start now is I'm going to do some more French climbing beans, and they are the Cobra. I do Neckargold as well, which is my yellow one, and I might do some Cosse Violette. They're the purple ones. Now I don't have, I've got my Cobra. Cobra is just the normal green one. Looks like this. I've got them inside actually, they have to come out. But I don't have any seeds of the others. I've ordered them, so they're coming. Cosse Violette is a purple variety, and the Neckargold is a yellow variety, and we love them. I do those. The other thing I'm going to do, which I don't normally do actually, to tell you the truth, because we're not big lovers of runner beans, but I have some runner beans here. I don't have a picture of it. I mean, you know what a runner bean looks like, but when I do a runner bean, and I'm not going to do many, I do Lady Di. I quite like that runner bean, so I thought I may as well do a few runner beans. I'm also going to do another lot of dwarf French beans. I like Amethyst and I like Sprite. I don't have a picture of the Sprite, but it's just a green bean, and Amethyst is purple. There we are. So that's that. Those ones. That is fruits days on the moon phase calendar. Right, Saturday the 18th, Sunday the 19th, Monday the 20th, and Tuesday the 21st are all roots days, and I am only sowing one root, and that is my winter carrots. So the variety I really like for winter carrots are Eskimo. I don't have a picture, but it's a carrot. It's an F1, and the reason why I like that one, and I also like Touchon as well. I've got some Touchon here because they actually last in the ground really well. A lot of carrots, when you actually sow them, don't last in the ground very well. They start to kind of rot, they start to sprout again, they get roots all over them, and they're not really good. Eskimo and Touchon do. They actually sit in the ground for quite a while. And so I want these carrots to stay in the ground for as long as possible, and then eventually I will harvest them all. That's why I choose these varieties. So if you don't choose these varieties and you do want to do a winter carrot, then make sure that you look for a carrot that is for autumn winter harvesting. So yeah, that's the best thing to do for that. I'm just looking at where I'm going to put these, and I'm going to put them here. I have them all in order of roots and flowers and all that kind of stuff. Now, speaking of flowers, Thursday, the 30th of May is a flowers day, and that is when I intend to sow my first batch of purple sprouting broccoli. I do two purple sprouting broccolis. I do an early and I do a later one. The early one is called Red Fire. I don't have any seeds at the moment. They're coming. I've ordered them and they're coming. And the other one is Claret. Claret is the one that I do later on. I'm doing 6 of each of those. Like I said, this is my first batch of purple sprouting broccoli. I do another batch in June as well because I want to stagger sow them. And Red Fire, I find, is very prolific, and so is Claret, very prolific. Purple sprouting broccoli always comes as an early, you can get early purple, just early purple sprouting broccoli, and then you get a later purple sprouting broccoli as well. But we like to eat it more or less the whole time from, say, let me think. I've written down all my different when I get things harvested, you see. So usually you get them from late winter to early spring. So February, March, April, and even May, because Claret can go into May as well. So that is when I am doing those. They're my flowers on the 30th. The other thing that I'm going to sow is I'm going to sow some more Graffiti cauliflowers. I'm going to sow some more Calabrese, marathon Calabrese, and I am going to sow a cauliflower called Clapton. Clapton is an F1 cauliflower, and again, it's clubroot resistant. So I don't think you need to see what that looks like. It actually is just a normal white cauliflower. It's not like the purple one. And like I said, it is clubroot resistant. So that's, if you want a cauliflower that's a perfect one for that. And I'm looking for it, but I can't find the seeds. And actually, I think that the seeds, I haven't got a picture on it anyhow. But like I said, it's a white cauliflower and it does really well in the winter. And there it is, yes, and it's not. I don't have a picture of it because I get it from Premier Seeds, Clapton F1. So that's my flowers. And then Friday, the 31st of May, is another Leaves Day. And I plan on sowing a big batch of another batch of lettuce again for heads. I'm going to do mainly Selenova lettuces. So I'm going to do Hawking. I'm going to do, let me just look, Haflex as well. And there's another Selenova that I really like, which I don't really know how to say it. It's called Cornuaya. I've ordered the seeds for those. I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to do those. Then I'm also going to do Canasta again, my favorite. I'm doing those. I'm doing Navara, again, my favorite. And then 2 more are going into that. One is a kind of big Batavian lettuce, and it's called Emocion, E-M-O-C-I-O-N. I'll put a picture of that up on the screen. And the other one is a oak leaf called Allonix, A-L-O-N-I-X. And I'll put a picture of that. So that's my last day of May, Leaves Day. And that's it. That is what I am sowing in May. I will put all the varieties below so that you can see actually what they are. Remember, all the Salanovas come from Just Seed, the company Just Seed, so you need to order from them if you're going to do Salanova. I highly recommend it. I know that, you know, you probably think, oh, it's quite expensive to buy lettuces like that, but it's not, because when you the yield that you get from them, just looking what I've got in here, that's Salanova. I haven't got any Salanovas in here. The yield that you get from a Salanova is like having 2 or 3 normal lettuce. So just remember that. It is actually worth it. I absolutely love them. They come in great colors. They always germinate, and they're just delicious as well. So that is your month. I hope you enjoy it. I hope the weather is good for you. And I will see you in June. Well, I won't see you in June because I will see you for my moon phase gardening. By the way, if you are interested in sowing, not on these days, but other days, please watch my moon gardening by the moon videos, because every week I show you what I am sowing and what I am transplanting, what I am weeding and all the maintenance as well, and what I am feeding. So it's ongoing all the time. Twice a week I bring these videos out. Even though I may not be sowing anything, I will also be doing all the rest of it. So it just keeps you busy all the time, and it keeps you on track. Okay? All right, I'm Susie B from Susie B Living. Thumbs up would be nice. Press that button, and also subscribe, because then you can get my videos ongoing. It's already, I've been doing these videos now, let me just think, more than 6 months, about 8 months now. So it's been fun. It's really interesting to see when I look back at what I'm doing and what I'm going to be changing as well. But if you're coming along with me, great. I'll see you soon. Bye.